What do you do when your face is on every billboard in America? You're making a fortune, and you're the literal definition of cool, but you're living a lie. For Bob Norris, the most famous Marlboro Man in history, the answer was simple. You quit. We've all seen the image, the cowboy, the campfire, the quiet strength of the American West. It's a marketing masterpiece that helped Marlboro conquer the world. But while other Marlboro men were tragically dying from the very product they promoted, Bob Norris was different. He wasn't just a model. He was a rancher who valued his children's respect more than his paycheck. Today, we're looking at the incredible life of the man who sold the myth, then destroyed it, to prove what real strength actually looks like. He was the face that sold 1 billion cigarettes to the world. Bob Norris, with his weathered hands and authentic cowboy presence, became one of the legendary Marlboro men who turned a woman's cigarette into the symbol of American masculinity. But Bob Norris wasn't an actor. He was the real deal. Born in 1931 in Chicago, Norris moved west and became a successful rancher, running the T-Cross Ranch in Colorado's high country. He raised horses, worked cattle, and lived the cowboy life that Madison Avenue could only dream of manufacturing. When Marlboro's advertising team sought authentic cowboys in the late 1960s and early 1970s, they found Norris. His rugged authenticity was exactly what they needed, a real rancher who looked the part because he lived it daily. There was just one problem. Bob Norris had never smoked a cigarette in his life. Not before the campaign, not during it. And as the years passed and his face appeared on billboards across America and around the world, he still refused to smoke. The photographers would shoot him on horseback, by campfires, on dusty trails, anywhere that evoked the romantic myth of the American West. But they never shot him actually smoking. That wasn't unusual for the campaign. The Marlboro Man was about image, not demonstration. For years, Norris collected his paychecks while privately grappling with a growing discomfort. He was promoting a product he wouldn't touch, selling an image that contradicted his personal beliefs. Then came the moment that changed everything. His children, noticing their father's face in magazines and on billboards, asked him a simple question. "Dad, if smoking is bad for us and you don't want us to smoke, why are you in cigarette commercials?" There was no clever answer, no way to rationalize it. His children had exposed the fundamental contradiction in a single, honest question. Norris made his decision. He walked away from the campaign, turning down the money and the fame. His values as a father mattered more than his contract as a pitchman. This was during an era when cigarette advertising was everywhere, on television, in magazines, on billboards. The Marlboro Man campaign was one of the most successful marketing efforts in history, transforming Marlboro into the world's best-selling cigarette brand. But Bob Norris chose integrity over income. After leaving the campaign, he returned to his ranch, where he lived quietly, raising his family and cattle. He became known for his philanthropy, supporting rodeo programs and Western heritage causes. He lived according to the authentic cowboy code, not the manufactured version sold in advertisements, but the real one built on honesty and principle. The irony is profound. The Marlboro Man campaign created a myth of rugged individualism and independence, men who made their own rules and lived free. In reality, Bob Norris embodied those values far more completely by walking away than by staying. Other Marlboro men weren't so fortunate. Several died from smoking-related illnesses, and some publicly denounced the tobacco industry before their deaths. Wayne McLaren appeared in anti-smoking campaigns while dying of lung cancer at age 51. David McLean died of lung cancer at 73 after smoking for years. Bob Norris lived to be 88, passing away in 2019, surrounded by his family at the ranch he loved. His story reveals something important about advertising's power and its limitations. Marlboro sold an image of freedom, but true freedom meant being able to walk away when money conflicted with values. The Marlboro Man was supposed to represent strength. Bob Norris showed what real strength looks like, admitting when you're wrong, prioritizing your children's respect over your paycheck, and living according to principles even when it costs you. He was a cowboy who became famous for selling cigarettes he never smoked, then became a hero by refusing to sell them anymore. That's not just a contradiction resolved. That's a life lived with integrity. The next time you see an advertisement selling you an image, remember Bob Norris. Remember that the man behind the myth chose his family's trust over his famous face. He taught us that the most powerful thing you can sell is something money can't buy. An example worth following.